We have an email from Harriet in Chicora, that's in Butler County.
I know Chicora.
You do know Chicora.
Yep.
Well, you're from that neck of the woods in western PA. And Harriet writes in, why are you letting a British company take over the lottery? Wouldn't it be better to let the employees take it over and keep it in Pennsylvania ownership? Are you getting a kickback from the British company? What's in this for you?
Well, let me tell you. What was it, Harriet?
Harriet,
That
yes.
offends. That's an offensive statement.
Well, let's start with that last question. What's in it for you? Is there anything in it for
Nothing
you?
is in it for me. What's in it is for the seniors of Pennsylvania. We have such a fast-growing senior population that the growth of the lottery is not keeping up with the needs for our senior population. And as you know, many of the services provided to seniors are totally funded out of the lottery funds. And what we are doing is not looking at it from one year to the next. We're looking at a long-term solution to what we know is to be a growing problem. And I think it's important for government to start looking at things not in 2 and 4 and 6 year cycles, but look at them in 10 and 20 year cycles and try and fix a system. We are not selling the lottery, number 2, Harriet. That's a misnomer out there. We are taking a section of the lottery that has lottery employees paid for by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and having an outside consultant basically come in and run that section of the lottery system with their expertise. And they have expertise in this matter across the globe, and particularly they manage the UK lottery. Pennsylvania cannot sell under federal law, could not sell its lottery system. So I would hope that the people who are listening to this would repeat this to everybody out there that we're not selling it. And then third, we will have guarantees of growth in this, or if we don't get the growth in, we will be able to dip into money set aside, $200 million set aside for us to recapture any losses or any decreases that happens under global, and they're the ones that put the money up, so it's not state money. The state employees that made a counter proposal, it didn't meet the needs that we wanted, and particularly it did not meet the needs on putting the reserve in. In fact, they were going to take millions from the lottery fund, put it over in the reserve. Instead of putting up their own money in this, as Global was putting up. And I wouldn't expect the lottery employees to be able to put up that kind of money.
That's $150 million, I
Right.
believe, that Camelot's
Right.
putting up.
Right.
Yeah. Now, we mentioned that contract is currently with the Attorney General, and she had 30 days from the time she received it to go over it. Basically, a review of legalities, technicalities, making sure it's legal.
Totally form and legality. That's
But
what
is
we
there
do.
any concern on your part? Now, this is an Attorney General that's going to knock heads with you, and I think she wants to knock heads with you.
Well, I don't think so.
Her whole campaign was based on challenging you on the Penn State issue.
That was campaign.
Is there any concern that that might be politicized and there will be an attempt to hold it up at
Well,
this
I will
stage?
tell you, no, because form and legality is pretty clear. And the lawyers over there have a requirement under the law to follow the law. And we feel very confident. Remember, I was the Attorney General over there. We feel very confident that this meets form and legality.
We've heard even
Policy-wise, they may not like it.
Right.
But you can't refuse it for policy.
along those same lines, we've heard from Treasurer Rob McCord, another newly elected row officer here in Pennsylvania, newly reelected in his case, that even if it passes the Attorney General's form and legality test, there's a whole other test for him before he says he will okay any payments to the private company, the private manager.
He hasn't come and told me that, and I want to see. We will have a long discussion with him about holding up due contracts with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that have been approved by the Attorney General of Pennsylvania.
I think in Harriet's question there was an allusion to the lottery workers, too, and I just want to get out there. There are about 230 or so lottery employees.
There's about 230 lottery employees, and Camelot has indicated that they want to hire as many as they can if the people are interested in it, because they're going to need employees. So they're not bringing people from the UK into here necessarily.
That's the issue.
No, these people will not necessarily lose their job, and if they don't want to work there, we've made a promise that we will try and find them employment in other agencies within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.